I hear rumors all the time. You hear rumors. You're really a foot soldier. You're on the ground. You're hearing stuff all the time. But when I created the LeBronzo meter, it was because I was hearing legitimate people over and over say the same thing. Right. He's coming to L.A. I was told very early, L.A. leads, he'll look at Philadelphia. LeBron has since admitted he didn't really look at Houston, and I was hearing he doesn't care about Houston. He did give, you heard the same thing, he was intrigued by the Sixers, right? But it was L.A. I'm now hearing Anthony Davis, L.A., execs in the league are like, it's happening.
Well, look, Rich Paul's his agent. He chose Rich Paul as his agent. How did Kentavious Caldwell-Pope get $18 million last year from the Lakers? He wouldn't have got half that maybe from somebody else. So I'm not saying Rich is going to drive him to L.A. I think he'll have a list. What's going to happen is no trade's going to happen this year because New Orleans would be nuts to trade him this season. And Anthony Davis would have to go Jimmy Butler to get traded now. That's not his
But can I throw
personality.
this out there? Chris, the history of trades, the sooner you move, the more you get. Because the longer you wait, I know if I'm the Lakers, you're running out of time, and my guy wants to come here anyway. I have always been a believer. What if my wife said, I want out of the relationship, I got to just move on it. Because it's just going to be chaos for the next year.
But I don't know that maybe Davis will say that now. There's no way I'd trade him this year.
Why not?
Why should I?
Because I can get more.
I don't know that you're going to get more. What I will agree with you on this is this. I think the Lakers can give more than Boston.
Well,
now,
no.
that's off what everybody else is saying. Everybody else is talking about the draft picks. First of all, they could have 4 draft picks this year. They can't even trade for Anthony Davis until after July when Kyrie Irving's contract expires because of this strange designated player rule.
Okay, that's great, Chris. So there's my point. If the Lakers know that Boston can't make a trade until June, if I'm the Lakers, I'm like, I don't want to go toe-to-toe. They could give up Kyrie Irving. They've got stars.
If they gave up Kyrie, that's a different story. I don't think they give up Kyrie.
How do you, if you're in a negotiation, I'm in a negotiation with you, and Chris, you have better assets than I do, and we're trying to get Goulet as our producer. Okay, we're going to get Goulet. You have more assets, but you can't offer him anything till July. I am on that before. I want to get that deal done, so I take you out of the equation. Didn't that make sense?
It makes sense, but New Orleans has to play ball with that. If I'm New Orleans, I'm just not giving up on him that soon. Now, I know, look, what's going to happen is if they don't trade him this year, they're going to offer him the Supermax extension. He's going to turn it down, and then they're going to realize, okay, we got to trade him.
And we're trapped because we're running out of time.
You make some sense. I don't see it happening this year. What I do say is this. The Pelicans could use a guard like Lonzo Ball. So I think Lonzo Ball, and if I'm the Lakers, I want to keep Kuzma and Hart.
Yeah.
But I think Kuzma may have to be a part of it.
Oh, whoa. What about Brandon Ingram?
Ingram's gone. They can get Ingram and Lonzo are in it. I may have to give up Kuzma.
No, I'm not giving you both of those. No, here, okay, you right now.
But what if Anthony Davis does not now? Because I think there's going to be a list, and it's going to be the Lakers up top. But Boston and the Knicks are going to, I think, be on that list too. That's educated speculation.
I don't buy the Knicks because I've been hearing the Knicks and great players for a decade, and none of them go there.
I'm not saying they'll go there, but I think they're a possibility.
Okay,
I'm just saying
if I'm the Lakers, I'm absolutely concerned about Boston. They've got better assets. They got Kyrie Irving.
You're assuming they're going to give up Kyrie.
I think to get Anthony Davis.
But I think if I'm them, I want to team Kyrie and Anthony Davis together.
I guess. Okay, but then you're going to have to give up.
I think Ball, Ingram, and Kuzma. Now, again, I don't want to give up all that if I'm the Lakers, but those 3 are a better package than Rozier, Tatum,
okay, what about
and
this?
Jaylen Brown.
Lonzo, they need a point guard. Ingram and Josh Hart. Lakers love Josh Hart. People around the league.
No, I love Josh. Yeah, I want to keep him.
But I like Kuzma better than Josh Hart.
I agree.
So I think it's Lonzo, Josh Hart, Ingram. If I'm New Orleans, I think I do that today.
If I'm New Orleans, I'm holding out for Kuzma too.
I don't like getting trapped in life. I don't like being trapped. Look, I feel like the longer I sit there in New Orleans, the minute Anthony Davis turns down the Supermax, I am trapped. I got no options here.
But you can send him to Boston. I just don't like. Look, you don't like being trapped. If I'm New Orleans, I also don't like being, can I say, punked right away. Like, I'm giving up that quickly. We're not staying. Oh, let's trade. Like, you don't have to give him up right now. Why would I? Let's try to make the playoffs and see what we can do this season.
The minute somebody tells me in my life behind closed doors, I'm not interested, I'd rather move them.
I don't think he's done that yet.
It's about time. Why lie to him? I think you're better served as a player telling your owner, listen, I want you guys to get the most you can get. I would never want to hose my franchise.
I don't think Davis, look, he's giving them plenty. If he says it this summer, that's plenty of time. He can't be a free agent until 2020. So you're giving him a whole year to make the best deal. He would just have to want to join the Lakers this year, which inside he may want to, but I don't know that wants to. It may be a PR hit. I don't think he and Rich Paul want this to get ugly and look like, he's forcing his way out, and it just makes you look bad. You look at a lot of guys that have done that, and it's Dwight Howard. It's made them look bad. And so I don't think they want any of that.
Please, America, side with me on this. Carmelo Anthony and LeBron go to a 5-star restaurant in New York wearing sweats. Broussard, joy is like I wear hoodies all day. Didn't that...
It rubbed me the wrong way.
Thank you.
I'm completely and I wear sweats all the time when I'm not on the air, but not to a restaurant, not to a nice restaurant. Like you said, if it's Burger King, if it's Starbucks or something like that, but a nice restaurant like that?
When you take your wife,
that's bad.
You got to dress up to respect your wife. I wear a top hat and a tux.
It's fashion.
That is not fashion.
Yes, it is.
That didn't look like fashion.
That looked like a fashion
At
faux
all.
pas. That didn't work. That didn't work at all for me.
I don't
You
know
got to
what to tell you
respect your
guys.
lady
That's not
friend
working.
more than that.
What did LeBron have on?
Same thing. They both a little off.
Bad.
What do you mean they're off? Look at everyone with them.
The
Well, those
whole
guys are just
crew
there-
is off.
It's ugly.
That I guarantee you that is a very, very expensive outfit.
It might be
Lord.
expensive. That's what gets NBA players in trouble. They think because something is expensive or designer that it's fly. All this stuff James Harden and Russell Westbrook are wearing, I know it's on the runway, but it's not meant to be worn in regular
They're
life.
tastemakers. It
don't
is
know
meant for
about
them
that.
to wear in regular life.
That stuff that stuff is crazy. That they wear.
If I
think he
wore a
looks perfectly
checkered, if I
acceptable.
wore a tic-tac-toe suit to work today, would you laugh at me or acknowledge my greatness?
I mean, I would assume that you're going through something because that's not what you normally wear. But if that's what you want to change it up to, I'm perfectly comfortable with that.
Okay, I don't have. Listen, the only other NBA topic. I mean, listen, the Lakers lost last night. I don't care. I think the Anthony Davis story is overwhelmingly the biggest story in the league. There is a story though that's going on. Chris Paul yesterday said James Harden's the best offensive player he's ever seen. I absolutely believe the NBA allows James Harden to travel. They allowed Magic to palm the ball. They allowed Michael Jordan to travel. If you become iconic and great, the NBA changes the rules for you.
But they haven't done that for LeBron.
Well, he doesn't have a go-to move. But Michael had like 3 set moves. He traveled on all of them. Magic palmed the ball. James Harden's traveling. If you become a great player, like let's say Kareem traveled on the skyhook and he did a little dance step, they'd let it go. The league's about stars, shots, moments. LeBron doesn't have a stock move.
Well, imagine how many turnovers Harden would have if they called travel. Because he owns the league record for most turnovers in a season. He's challenging that record again this year. He's got 2 of the 4 highest turnover seasons in NBA history.
Now, he has a lot of usage.
Almost 6 a game. A lot of usage, but that's why Chris Paul is out of his mind. Number 1, the turnovers. Number 2, Harden's not that efficient. He's a 44% shooter. Now, I know his true shooting percentage, but that's because of the threes. That jacks up your true shooting percentage. You can't compare that to Michael Jordan because they didn't shoot threes as much back then. The third thing that Chris Paul's overlooking is the Mike D'Antoni factor.
Thank you.
Mike D'Antoni is PEDs for certain types of players. I mean, like if you are a good ball handler, see the entire floor, and you're downhill, you're going to be greater than anybody ever suspected in Mike D'Antoni's system.
Steve Nash was the NBA's arguably best player for a 3-year stretch.
Absolutely. And I contend this, Colin, and I voted for Steve Nash at least once on the MVP. I don't know if I voted both times. I think I did both times he won it. I contend that Steve Nash would not only never have won the MVP award, but he would not be a future Hall of Famer had he not hooked up with Mike D'Antoni. He was on the decline in his last season in Dallas. That's why Mark Cuban let him go to Phoenix and didn't try to re-sign him. So Nash becomes this superhero in D'Antoni's system. Chris Duhon, Ray Felton, Jeremy Lin, they all played above their heads for D'Antoni, and that's what you see with James Harden. I'm not saying he's not great, but you got to put Michael Jordan ahead of him. I would put Steph Curry ahead of him, too. Because if you put Steph in D'Antoni's system, he might average 37 and 13.
Yeah, Steph Curry's an all-time better player than Harden.
Certainly a better offense. Well, neither
First
one
of all, he's a better pure
defensively.
shooter, and he's a better ball handler.
And I would argue a better passer, even though his assist total. Harden can pass, too, but Steph's an underrated passer.
By the way, I'm not really into awards. The MVP race this year, I think, is really interesting. I still think Phillip Rivers, if he beats Baltimore's defense and has a great couple weeks, he'll finish second. I have Andrew Luck winning it. I have Phillip Rivers second.
He's not even a Pro Bowler.
It's embarrassing. That's why
I agree with you. He should be a Pro
That's
Bowler.
why I don't watch the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I think we've given it to Mahomes, and my takeaway is if he loses this week in Seattle, he's 0 for 4 in his biggest games. I'm not blaming him, but you got to win one of them.
But hold on. It's amazing how we say his biggest games. He beat the Chargers in L.A., which I know.
When?
The game won, but still. He beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. He just beat Baltimore, which is playing great football.
What month are those games in?
It's funny that they all count the same. I get it. December football is a little more important.
A little.
But the only reason we say these are his most important games is because they lost. We're not counting the first Pittsburgh game, but we're counting the second one. You know,
games matter more in December because if you can react as a team and as a general manager and as a player to a September performance. You get to January, it's final. If you lose, you lose. You don't have time to make up for a bad performance.
But he put up 51 points in one of the losses. I know he had the 5 turnovers.
Let me guess. It was sunny outside.
Hold on. He has had 2 6-touchdown games this year. You know how many 6-touchdown games Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger have in their careers? 2.
Oh, timeout.
2.
Okay.
He's got 2 in one season. His first season as a starter. This dude's the MVP. Why don't you like Patrick Mahomes?
It's not that I don't like him. Why is it I always get tagged a hater when I offer reasonable criticism?
This guy has, 14 or 11 more touchdowns than anybody else in the league.
Yeah.
He's
7 turnovers against the Patriots and Rams combined. Did you forget about that? You're talking numbers. I got those numbers.
Magic Johnson turned it over a lot.
Oh, now you're changing sports on me.
You turn it over sometimes. I mean, he's only got 11 INTs.
I'm not set. Listen.
Andrew Luck has 13.
Oh, yeah. Andrew Luck doesn't have Cheetah, Sammy for most of the year.
Hold on.
Travis
Sammy Watkins
Kelce
is hurt. Kareem Hunt is out, as he should be. Spencer Ware is out now. He's lost some top players, too.
So you look at this right here when I put it on TV, Luck, Rivers, Mahomes. You have a problem. What order would you put him in?
Mahomes, Rivers, Luck.
You put Luck third?
Yeah, I would have Breeze third. Yeah, no question.
The lineup is right.
I'm with you on Luck should have made the Pro Bowl ahead of Brady.
Well, that's just like saying milk goes good with cereal. I mean, that's not some big proclamation. Of course he should have made the Pro Bowl.
Well, ahead of Brady, though.
Of course.
All right. A lot of people don't. And Rodgers shouldn't have made it. Russell Wilson should have made it ahead of Rodgers, I think.
Yes, that's embarrassing for the league.
It is.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah,
Russell beat him head to head.
No question.
Do you know Russell has more wins against the NFC North this year than Aaron does? He's 3-1. Aaron's 1-3-1. Even in his division, it's not all Aaron's fault. Good stuff, Chris Broussard. Good having you on.
Did I convince you about Mahomes?
No, not at all. I think you're crazy.